film number 2 is about the breathing. And this is the way that I'm doing it. I'm doing it in order of priority. So your most important priority is your attitude towards your life. And the second priority really needs to be your breathing. Because if you think food is important, then water is even more so. And if you think water is important, breathing is many, many times more so still. And here's a great thing. Completely free of charge service, which is going to radically improve your health. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to first of all show you what diaphragmatic breathing is, which means breathing based around the abdomen. And once you understand what diaphragmatic breathing is, I'm going to take you through a series of breathing exercises. So the trick about diaphragmatic breathing, or breathing from the belly, the abdomen, is to understand how to do so. So I'm going to make use of my right hand, and my right hand lying on the belly there will give me a really good idea of what's going on. So just watch what happens to the position of this hand when I exhale forcefully through my mouth, through the pursed lips, like breathing through a straw. This is what happens. So you get that empty, concave thing, and the hand has dropped. You hope you can see that clearly. And when I inhale through the abdomen, watch what happens. So the hand is pushed up by the extended belly, and as I continue to breathe up through the chest, this is what happens. So I'll exhale again. So while you're learning this breathing technique, what I suggest you do is start by lying down on your back, have one of your hands on the belly, and really notice how when you're breathing diaphragmatically through the belly, that when you exhale, the hand is going to go down, and when you inhale, the hand is going to be raised. And that's the effect of your diaphragm. So by placing the hand on the belly, I hope you're able to notice that when you are exhaling, what happens is that the abdomen collapses inwards, and then when you inhale, the abdomen presses outwards. So that's the basis upon all the following breathing exercises I'm going to show you. I'll start off with the simplest one of all. And for this one, what we do is we inhale through the nose, and we exhale by having pursed lips, and it's as if you're breathing out through a straw. So it's rather like this. The reason for the pursed lips is it slows the process down, thereby making it more powerful. So what I do for these breathing exercises, I always begin with an exhalation. So whatever position I'm up to in my breathing, the first thing I do is I forcefully exhale and get that diaphragm going inwards. So I'll forcefully exhale, breathing out through the straw, and then I'll do my inhalation. So for this particular technique, when you're fully exhaled, you count for 1, then you inhale and you count for 1, exhale and count for 1, inhale and count for 1, and that's all there is to this one. Very simple, very straightforward. So let me just show you this one. I'm going to make use of this hand here, so when I'm fully inhaled, my hand's going to be high up, and when I'm fully exhaled, my hand's going to be low down. Okay, so and that's it. It's a very simple form of pranayama breathing. Now let's go into the detail about why this is so good. First of all, because you're breathing from the belly, this means the parts of your lungs which normally don't get any air going in and out actually are fully utilised. It's extremely good for the lungs to do this. It means that you get far more oxygen in with each breath, and it means you detox the carbon dioxide much more effectively breath as well. So you've radically improved the efficiency. And here's a little detail. You notice that when I've finished breathing in through the abdomen, then the chest takes over and the chest cavity carries on expanding too. So at the end of the in-breath, you've got the chest breathing, which everyone is familiar with. So it's not about replacing the chest breathing with the belly breathing, it's a matter of combining them both. But because most people are not aware of the abdominal breathing, that's where we begin with. Begin with the belly and we finish with the chest when it comes to the inhalation. So one cycle is fully exhale and fully inhale. That's one cycle. So I demonstrated a couple of 3 cycles to you for that one. Very straightforward. Now let's take the whole thing somewhat deeper. And this one, each cycle, what we're going to do is we're going to hold for a count of 1. For the next cycle, we hold for a count of 2. The next time it'll be 3, then it'll be 4, then 5, then 10, then 15, 20, 25, 30. So those are the steps in which you increase your gap, your pause, on the inhalation and the exhalation. So what I'll do is I'll just take you from where we are up to 5, and then you can see how you just naturally progress. So here we go then. So I've taken us up to 5, and you just simply continue in increments of 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. By the time you're holding for a count of 30 on the inhalation and the exhalation, you are creating the most fantastic cleansing in your body. In terms of detoxing, this is probably even more powerful than drinking lots of water on a daily basis. It is so powerful to get all those last remnants of CO2 out through the exhalation and get every scrap of oxygen in on the inhalation. This is such a powerful technique. When you've got up as far as the 30, you then go down in the same way. 25, 20, 15, 10, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So that whole breathing technique is going to take you a good 10 minutes to do that one from beginning to end. So that's rather more elaborate than the first one. Now, what these processes do, apart from giving us a really good detox and a massive charge of oxygen in our body, therefore benefiting our brain function, the other thing we find is it improves our psychic abilities, and it also improves our ability to do any multidimensional travelling, whether it's lucid dreaming out of body, plant spirit medicine, you name it, any practice at all, meditation, all these practices will be improved automatically through this kind of breathing. And I need to give you the qualification here, or the rider, which is there are 2 times when this is not recommended. First of all, when you've just eaten a lot of food, it is really not recommended to do these breathing practices. It's too disturbing to the digestion. And the other time you really do want to avoid doing them, that is if you are operating machinery or driving. It is not appropriate to be doing these breathing processes when you do those activities. So what you want to do is you want to say to yourself, right, now I'm going to dedicate myself to doing this breathing, and that's actually all I'm going to be focusing on is the breathing for that duration of time I'm going to be doing it. Okay, let's take you up to the third level. Now, the first and the second level I share with people on my Plant Medicine retreats. This is a practice which takes it much deeper still, and it is very demanding. I'm only going to do one cycle, and the idea of this one is you inhale fully and deeply, then you hold for as long as you can, until you get this overwhelming impulse to inhale that you simply cannot resist. And then you get this incredibly deep inhalation. And then when you're fully inhaled again, you simply wait with fully inhaled lung system until there's an unbearable desire to simply exhale. So this is to go really deep. So I'll just demonstrate this one for you. Now, if you didn't get any really obvious visceral signs from the other two methods, you certainly will from this one. It's remarkable how it sharpens up your brain acuity, makes you feel really quite amazing. So those are 3 breathing exercises which I would strongly recommend. They're all from the Pranayama tradition. Now here's a little aside, which is another breathing exercise. This is the 4th one I'm going to speak about. And this one I find myself automatically doing when I'm engaged in an incredibly health-promoting practice, which is to totally immerse my body in cold water. And what I find myself doing is, because I know what's going to happen when I do this, I find myself doing this form of breathing just before I get in there. So this is how this breathing goes. It's a rapid breathing, and it's like this. And at that point I would then plunge into the cold water. It's a very good breathing exercise to do if you need to undergo a rapid change in consciousness and quickly put a lot of extra oxygen into the body. So it does have some very particular uses, this one. It has other uses too, which is if I'm involved in any strenuous physical exercise. I'm doing a lot of physical exercise to build up my upper body from having spent so many months unable to be as physically active as I like. So I'm actually using that same breathing technique just before I'm about to do some strenuous physical exercise for my upper body. So it's a very useful, simple one. And there's one that I want to show you which is beloved of shamans the world over. If a shaman is about to do some healing work for a client and they need to just literally clear their head from the day-to-day concerns of the workaday life, this is what they do. They do this. And that has a remarkable effect. Very, very useful. So there's only one more breathing technique I want to show you. We've just done 5. This is the 6th one. And this is perhaps rather more involved than some of the ones I've shown you before. And this comes directly from yoga practice. And it was doing yoga that taught me this remarkable thing about the body, which most people don't know. Which is, if you become really self-aware, what you'll notice is that in your day, you will find that you are breathing mostly through one nostril and not through the other very much. And at certain points every day, this changes. So at a certain point you'll be breathing mostly through your left nostril, and you might be lying down in bed or sitting up or doing whatever, and suddenly you notice, oh, but it's just shifting, and now the left nostril is closing down and the right nostril is opening up, and suddenly my breathing is mostly through the right nostril. And I was very surprised to discover this, and I linked it into this form of yogic breathing. It's called alternate nostril breathing. So this is something that is really beloved of yoga practitioners, and it's really a good conditioner for the body. And this is the way that it works. You make use of your index finger, the middle finger and the thumb, and this is how you arrange things. So that middle finger will cover the left nostril, and that thumb will cover the right nostril. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start by breathing in through my left nostril like this. Cover, open the right nostril. In again, through the right nostril. Cover right nostril, open left nostril. And that's one cycle of alternate nostril breathing. So this is another good breathing practice which you can do and take as deep as you like. So the great thing about working with the breath is you're automatically and inevitably going to increase your state of health and vitality. Whatever lifestyle you have, no matter how physical or sedentary, this is going to make a huge impact on your health. It's going to retard the aging process, so you're going to look younger for longer, and you're going to feel that you've got more vitality for everyday life. And that pretty much winds up this one, so thank you very much. That's the end of our breathing.